Have you ever had the experience where you're doing great in life? You're connecting with people, you're enjoying your work, you're being productive, your home space is all clean and nice, and you think, I think I got this life thing figured out. And then, bam, something happens that makes you feel rejected or angry or panicked. And instead of just being thrown off for 15 minutes or an hour, you go way off the tracks for days or more. And if you went through abuse and neglect as a kid, this is probably a phenomenon that you know really well. And when you're kind of offline for those days, getting things done can feel almost impossible. You know what you should do, like get to work on time, clean the kitchen, wish your friend a happy birthday, or just take a shower, but you just can't do it. And the ordinary word for this is procrastination. But for people with childhood PTSD, procrastinating can have some harsh overtones of depression and a feeling of paralysis and a dread of putting on your clothes and getting back out there again to do what you do best in the world. But here's the weird thing. It can also feel really comforting for a while, like a cozy cocoon, procrastination. And that's because for those of us who get easily triggered and overstimulated by doing things that challenge us, stepping up, putting ourselves out there, being vulnerable with another person, there can be a strong countervailing force that wants to just pull you back into the cocoon, just snug and safe, not triggered. But it's not safe, is it? Not at all. To avoid life. Everything good in your life, all the growth that you'll have as a person, depends on you spending some time regularly out in the world. Not all your time, but a balance between the time you spend striving for your dreams and connecting with people and being brave in the world on one hand, and then on the other hand, the quiet time that you need to collect yourself and get re-regulated, to re-regulate your brain and nervous system, which for most people with CPTSD can get very frazzled and dysregulated during your out time. So let's call it that. Out time and in time. And what throws it out of balance is how you bring it back to some middle place where you can be both courageous and take care of yourself and not have these long periods of spiritual torpor and self-sabotage that are so common for people with CPTSD and that hold you back from what you want. Okay, so let's talk this through because the solution lies in a combination of dealing with your dysregulation and then taking action. There it is, okay? Re-regulate, take action. That's where I'm going to take you with this talk. Now, if you're new to my channel and new to the concept of being dysregulated, this is the name for the disorienting phenomenon that happens to everyone sometimes, but it's especially common for people with CPTSD. And when it's happening, you might experience it as a feeling of discombobulation, numbness, being flustered, or not being able to stick with your thoughts long enough to remember what you were saying, or you walk into a room and you can't remember why you went in there. Have you ever done that? So dysregulation is often mistaken for ADHD. Sometimes it might be ADHD, sometimes it might just be CPTSD. With CPTSD, your attention when you're dysregulated can be just like a bag of cats. But so is your whole nervous system, and it can make you emotionally overreactive. So when that's happening, you lash out or you do things impulsively, or it can make you feel so overwhelmed that you want to just lay down in bed with Netflix and procrastinate. So sometimes, maybe it's a conscious choice to take a break, fine. But procrastination for us is often triggered by dysregulation. And we get so used to seeking comfort and quiet and low stimulation, niceness, softness, blankness, that we use inaction like a drug sometimes. And it can be like an addiction. And many of us are a lot more prone to other self-soothing but self-destructive behaviors when we're procrastinating, like binge eating or smoking weed all day or playing video games or fantasizing about someone who either isn't available or who doesn't even exist. So we check out. We're just gone. We're not here. And the trouble with that is, in life, people who aren't here don't get very far. You have to be present to win, as some people say. Now, our fantasy is often that in a minute or tomorrow we'll leap into action again. And it's sometimes true that you need some rest. But the fantasy of procrastination is that if you could just lie around avoiding your life long enough, your batteries will finally get recharged. And then what? It'll all be solved. I don't know. Inspiration will come back. Energy will come back. Confidence will come back. And you'll be able to do all those things that everyone's counting on you for. You'll be able to get ahead in life. And wanting all those things to happen is good. It's not stupid. It's right to want all those things. Because this is what our lives are for, to rise up, to heal from what has happened so that we can become our real selves and bring to the world what we are capable of bringing. And that's the tragedy of CPTSD, is that gets blocked. There are good things that we were made to bring, and it feels terrible knowing that you're meant for more than where you are right now, but you can't quite act on it. And in my experience, this is the most haunting kind of depression. The thing I always want to procrastinate on, for example, is making these videos. Why? Because it's hard. It takes a lot of work coming up with something out of thin air, like, this is like coming out of nowhere. And then fixing up my face and my hair, turning on all the lights and the equipment and saying it on camera like I am now. It's hard, and it's really, really risky. You guys might judge me or criticize me, and people do, they check out the comments sometime. We try to take the hateful comments out, and so mostly what you see is all the kind and beautiful comments that, the vast majority of people contribute here. But does all that love stop me from getting hurt by the haters? No. They criticize my hair, my opinions, or the opinions they mistakenly think that I have, that I don't. They call me dangerous, they call me ignorant. I had someone give me hell a couple weeks ago because they thought that the dimples in my chin were snake bite piercings. And they lectured me on how unprofessional it was for somebody in my position to have that, and that it was culturally hostile or something to native traditions, where that comes from. And they were just like, I don't even know where they get this. Even when the comments are stupid, it makes me want to give up. All right? That happens to everybody. It happens to me. There's a therapist in Indiana who spends, it must be hours, and it's been going on weeks and months, just like obsessed with trying to tell me that I have no right to teach my experience and my opinions here. And honestly, it feels like when people put me down, it totally dysregulates me. I'm human, just like everybody. And I have CPTSD. But what good will it do if I run from these triggers, if I let it stop me? Everything I do because I've learned to face what hurts me and to calm my triggers and get clarity in my mind about my purpose. Not the hateful therapist or the piercing bully person. What I'm trying to do, stepping forward into my small part and doing something good in the world, doing the best I can. You hear me, and in fact, your kind comments are hugely encouraging. And the encouragement that you give other people here is more powerful than you will ever know. It makes a huge difference for people. Sometimes one kind comment could change the course of someone's life. So you're really doing something when you do that. Now, if you say unkind things to people here, we can't catch it every time it happens, but just know bullies and haters are always going to be in our midst. It's just part of the world, and we don't have to let them win. And that means we don't have to let them silence us or hold us down. And so everything depends on learning to keep your brain and your nervous system regulated despite what anybody is doing. Because when you're regulated, you can think clearly. You can make decisions and act on those decisions. And that is everything. Thinking clearly, taking action, operating in your own best interest. Like, how many times has CPTSD taken that from you? But that's what you can do. That's how you can heal from what happened to you and change your life. You cannot let the people who hurt you, now or in the past, stop you from becoming who you are. And you don't have to be perfect at this to get started. If you think you get dysregulated, there's a quiz down below where you can check your experiences against a list of common symptoms, by the way. That's right down there. There's also all my courses down there if you want to check those out. But I hear from so many of you out there who are not able to get out of an abusive situation, or who are not able to financially care for yourself and the people who count on you, or who are not able to show the world who you really are, because the risk involved in these things, from putting yourself out there and risking criticism and failure, feels like it'll be so dysregulated that you would disintegrate, that you'd just break down and never be okay again. And you might have been in that place before or close to it. I have too, and it's terrifying. But there's a gentle path through that place and up and out of it. And it involves learning to identify when you're dysregulated and learning to get re-regulated again. And from a regulated place, your heart is beating at a nice rate, your breathing is calm and regular, your brain is humming along, and you're like attuned and aware of what you feel, what's going on around you, so that now you can take action in the loveliest sort of ways. Things get easier. You're on a level playing field with people who didn't get traumatized, who aren't dysregulated. I mean, you will get dysregulated again, we all will, but you'll know how to notice it and bring yourself back to a regulated and calm, attentive state. You'll be able to notice when you're hungry or tired or feeling like the person in front of you isn't really safe for you. Your red flag detector switches back on. You might get an impulse to lash out or smoke a cigarette, but you'll feel a more spacious set of choices in front of you when that happens, what you want to do about it. And you can choose to use your attention. This is my favorite. You can choose to use your attention the way that you want to use your attention. You can learn, you can listen carefully to someone who's opening up to you, you can have insight. Now, it's human nature to desire the easy path in any given moment, to crap out, lie down, avoid any trouble. But it's also human nature, it's like coded into us to want something more. It comes and gets me at like 3 a.m. sometimes when I've been procrastinating. I wake up just feeling agitated and guilty and demoralized. Do you ever have that? I want the comfort of avoiding things that are hard and triggering, but even more than that, I want the joy I get from trying, from putting myself out there. For me, it's going ahead and making the video, and that's how it was for me today. And yet here I am. I feel good. I get to post this video and then read all the wise and tender things that you will be saying in the comments. And it makes me feel useful and real. Now, do you have something that does that for you? Have you been avoiding it? Are you feeling ready to change that problem and start taking good, healthy actions that make you feel good? So even if you wake up in the middle of the night sometimes, worried that life is passing you by, you go to bed that night knowing that today you actually did what you needed to do. You lived your life. You worked on your healing. You contributed positive things. You moved in a good direction. This doesn't just require healing. It is healing. This is what it looks like. Those good actions in the right measure, taking action, pausing to re-regulate, then taking action again. It's how you climb out of the trauma ditch as many times as you need to. Because believe me, it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Now, if you need guidance on how to get re-regulated, I can show you. And you can check the description section again. There's a free course that's a great place to get started called The Daily Practice. These are the techniques that I used to get re-regulated, and I keep doing it. You can keep practicing that. And if you can, give some encouragement to all the good souls here who are also practicing and working on getting out of that ditch. Give them a kind word. Share your progress here in the comments. And know that healing procrastination and all the other ways that your past trauma has held you back is possible. You actually are designed to heal. And if you want more good stuff to help you learn to re-regulate, I've got this video lined up right here, and I will see you very soon.